Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to apply gel nail polish. Very basic, I'm not a professional, I'm just going to show you the technique that I use. And sorry that you're going to hear crying and barking dogs, they're not very happy today. So the tools that I use is I use an orange stick. I have plain ones. I like to have this edge on it. I think it's called like a ballet toe. And I also like the pointy edge. I use the orange stick to push back cuticles, and I also use it to clear off gel polish. That's why it's colorful. I use files. This one is an iMethod glass file. I like these because I can wash them and they last forever. I like to have lint-free pads. So I have this kind, and then I also have this bigger version. I have 91% isopropyl alcohol, and I also have a bottle with acetone. I often, when I'm talking, I will say acetone and alcohol backwards. Whenever I use this bottle, I'm using alcohol. Whenever I'm using this bottle, I'm using acetone. I have a base coat. The base coat that I'm using is by Fingerprint Paints, and it's just their soak off base coat. I use tape just to make sure that they don't leak. I'm going to be doing the red glitter, so I have a red base paint color that I'm going to use, and this one is Red My Lips. It's by Sally Hansen. The color that I'm using is by Gellin. Don't mind the bottle, it's all leaky. Okay. It is by Gellin. This is the only bottle of polish that I have by them that leaks. And this is their color 276. And it's this really pretty, glittery red, like Dorothy's red slippers. And it is leaking. I'll have to clean it up when I'm done. And then for my top coat, I am using, guess what? I did my other finger. I'm using this by BMC. Bundle Monsters is their top coat. It's their no wipe top coat. And, oh, and my lamp. I have an LED lamp. This is my lamp by Sensational. I've had this lamp forever. I love it for multiple years. Sorry about barking dogs. So the first thing that I want to do is make sure that my nails are free and clean of any debris, polish, since I'm going to do this from scratch. They look really messy. I've got a lot of just junk because I'm not a clean person. Well, so I'm going to make sure they're clean and free. Clean. They're super shiny because I have my base coat on. I'm going to push back my cuticles if I need to. I am going to, before I put my base coat on, although mine's already on, sorry, I am going to file any shininess off of my nails. Use a really, really light, you could use your gel, you could use a glass. I also use a fairly fine file. It's super soft, just to buff off the shiny top coat of your natural nail. And then also shape your nails how you want them. My nails look like crap right now because we had done a lot of housework and I broke quite a few of them. So we're going to leave them in this shape. I have made sure that I don't have any broken edges and kind of got them to a decent shape. After you file very lightly and buff off that shiny coat and you have your cuticles pushed back, you're going to go wash your hands using something like Dawn dish soap or a degreasing dish soap. A degreasing dish soap is awesome. That'll help get rid of some of the oils in your skin. I use a nail brush, really get deep into your nails. Once that's done and your nails have dried, the next thing that I do is I want to dehydrate my nails by using at least 91% isopropyl alcohol. You can buy the stuff. I know that Finger Paints sells it, and so does Sensational, and it's called like Finger Prep. It's basically just 91% isopropyl alcohol. Sometimes it has a little bit of acetone in it as well. But this works just as well. I'm just going to go ahead and dump it right onto my pad, my lint-free pad. You want lint-free to get less debris, and then just really get in and make sure you get all the nooks and crannies of your nails. I'm actually going to do this again because I have gone quite a bit of time since I put my base coat on. So get it wet and rub it down. Sorry, Lucy's barking right now because she wants to come and hang out with us. But if she hangs out with us, she's going to be sitting either on my lap or on the table. And if I let Lucy out, then Django wants to come out, and Django likes to put his butt on everybody, and he's a 70-pound dog. He's not super tiny. He's a butthead. I'm also, a lot of times when people will prep their nails, they will put nail oil on, and then they'll go do their filing and their cleaning. It's probably a wise thing to do. I just use nail oil at the end, but some people do both. Okay, so now that I've got my nails completely wiped clean with the isopropyl alcohol, I'm going to go ahead and put my base coat on. One of the things that you always want to do when doing gel nails is to do your layers thinly. If you do it too thick, and I just learned, well, I just relearned this step today. If you do it too thick, what can happen is you can cure the outside layer, but you might have have inside of the layer that you just created not cure. So you'll have like this gushy, weird gel. I don't know. It's gross and it's not going to cure. And if you end up ripping a nail or something, or ripping the top layer, or cutting the top layer, or poking the top layer, the other stuff can come oozing out and it's really nasty. So make sure you always, always, always use thin layers. I like to do at least 2 coats of my base. Oftentimes, we're not doing this today, but oftentimes I will go ahead and put 3 or 4 layers of my base coat and maybe even a layer of top coat on. And then I'll put my gel color if I want gel, or I'll use just plain nail polish. And I do that because when I want to take the colors off, and I like to do my manicure often, if I want to take like the top layer of color off and change the color, I'm not actually touching my natural nail, I'm only touching the gel layer. And as my nail grows out, I will continue to just lightly file down the gel nail polish and then put a new coat of base and clear nail polish on top so that my nail stays kind of thick, almost like when you get a set of nails done, and I can just keep on top of it and not actually affect my natural nail at all. So 2 coats of this. In between each coat, you're going to go ahead and cure it in your LED lamp for the time specified. I usually use, my lamp has a halfway cycle where it blinks and then continues to its full cycle. I just do the whole cycle, but you'll need to learn your lamp and learn how long you need to cure your nails. After you put on your base color, I keep it taped. So when I started collecting my polishes, I put them in, I bought a polish box, and I put all of my nail polishes in there, but I laid the box down and they leaked. And I also learned this one, sometimes when I go to close the lid, it kind of twists back a little bit and it does leak. So I just take a piece of tape and keep it closed. That's the same thing that happened with this one. And this one leaks pretty well anyway. Like I just did 2 nails and you've got quite a bit of nail polish on the outside of it. Before I store it, I will take some acetone and I will actually take the brush off. I will wipe all the acetone off the edges. And then I'll go ahead and close it and then make sure that I store it in my box right side up. These are little gel dots. I don't actually know what they are. They're these sticky dots. You paint your nail polish on top of it and then you can cure it in the LED light and then it sticks on top of your lids so that you know exactly what the color is. Since most of the gel polishes are going to come without any sort of window, this one has a window, but most of them are going to come in a solid color with just a sticker on top. I like to actually use the real color of the polish so that I have a better idea of what I'm looking at. Okay, so I put my base coats on, and now I'm going to use a base color. And the only reason why I'm using the base color is I tend to believe that when you use a glitter color, it's pretty transparent. So if I put a base color on, I'll be able to put the glitter on top, and if I have any abnormalities or any streaky areas, it won't be as noticeable. So again, make sure you put everything on thin. I have got my orange stick because I am left-handed, and when I do my left hand, I'm always going to end up getting on the edge of my nails, and I can wipe it off before I cure it. That's the other great thing about gel. So go ahead and do all 5 nails, a thin coat. I'll show you 1 nail, And then I will pause it, put the rest on. Oh wait, I can't pause this one. So just a thin coat. Super thin coat. And always, always, always your tip. And then I'm going to, sorry, I have a cold coming on. And then what I'm going to do is any polish that's left on the edges, and take my orange stick and wipe it off, and then wipe it in the isopropyl alcohol, the pad that has the alcohol on it. And I want to do this before I cure my nails, because if I can get it off, I don't have to file it later. So I'm going to do that to all my nails, and then I will bake it. Bake it. Look, guess what? I have dogs, so that means I have dog hairs. Okay. Next nail. And this, I don't think needs to be extremely perfect. I want to keep it even, but it doesn't have to look amazing because I'm going to put the glitter on top, and hopefully, for the most part, the glitter will completely cover this. Okay. I know I'm not the greatest at application, but guess what that means? If I can do this, then you can do this. Okay, so thin layer, cap the top. I always notice if you cap the top and you just leave it, you end up with this weird ridge. So I'll usually cap it and then just make sure that I pull it through. And then, there we go. Okay, next nail, dog hair. Oh, hey, look, they're being quiet. Okay, super thin. This nail broke. I was thinking about trying to use a gel builder and extending the nail, but apparently I changed my mind. But again, if I can do it, you can too. Okay, here's another hair. And then, now obviously, if your nails are super short, you might not be able to cap that tip, but just do the best you can. And I'm going to take an orange stick to the tip of this because I just really screwed it up. Okay. So take that orange stick, clean off that side, wipe it off, clean off under, because I'm an idiot. There we go. Hey, stay. Okay. And then clean off this side. Alright, we're going to do the pointer finger, and we'll bake it. Here we go. Thin. And again, I don't really care if it looks too perfect, because we can always fix things. Okay. I don't think we can actually get the tip on this. So, but ultimately, you just want to make sure you're carrying it over the edge. That'll create a thicker tip, which means that it's a little bit more difficult to break. My nails are super long, and I decided to trim them because we were laying floors in our house and getting the house ready for a party, and right after I trimmed them, these two broke. Okay, we're gonna bake it. I do the full cycle, so mine blinks halfway through, which is I think probably 30 seconds, and then it finishes at a minute. Sometimes, if you have sensitive nail beds, this is gonna tingle a little bit, give you a little bit of a weird burning feeling. You take your hand out and do it in small pieces. It doesn't matter, just as long as you get some good time on it. Then if I wanted this to be my color, I'd put a second or third coat down. But I don't really want this to be my main color, or my color. I want to wipe that off. Okay. Alright, so baked, done. Next task. Next task is to do a thin layer. Keyword is thin. I learned with this one, if I do it too thick, it will not cure all the way through. You can get away with it on some colors, and some polishes, putting it on thick, but I know for a fact this polish is not one of them. Okay. So thin. Think thin. Thin. Okay. Thin. Get the tip a little bit. Ooh, just the tip. There we go. Oops. Look, it's kind of thick right there. Sometimes when we're in a hurry, we want to get things done, we'll try to find shortcuts. And I can tell you that on this, the shortcut of going a little bit thicker on your polish is going to be horrible and it's going to actually take longer in the long run. Why? Because you keep wiping that crap off your nail over and over and over again because it never cures and it wrinkles and it looks like a little man because of the wrinkles, haha. So I'm going to clean up the edges with my orange stick. Orange stick. Oh, that one came off pretty good. The other thing to know is it's easier to do this at the beginning, to clean off the edges before you bake it, but if you don't do it, the nail file can become your best friend. So this polish really, really stains the skin really bad. Let's see if you can tell. Whee, check out my finger. So I've wiped off the paint around the skin, but it's still really stained on the tip of it, which sucks right now, but in reality, this will just come off when the skin goes through its little cycle, which is just a day or so, so whatever. I'm not a hand model, I'm not a professional, I'm just a person who's too cheap to go to a nail salon. Although I've spent more money on nail polish than I've ever spent getting my nails done. Okay, so we're going to bake it. That's really going to drive me crazy. If I was putting this on thicker or I was using a builder gel or something that I knew that would work, a secret that I have learned in order to keep the nail to look, in order for the polish to not run over the sides of the nail, especially if you put it on thick, I'll show you just a second. Okay, is if you turn your hand upside down, put your polish on. If it's a polish that you can put thicker and you know will cure, turn your hand upside down just for a little bit and then bake it, and that's going to allow the polish to pull up. Ooh, that was gross. To pull up towards the top instead of down towards the sides. You'll get a little bit more of a professional look. But we're putting this on so thin, I'm not the least bit worried about it. But when I put the top coat on, maybe we'll care. Alright, so coat number 2. The more coats you put on, the thicker the nail will be. There are some sites that I've seen that will tell you to put it on the top 2/3 of the nail, your first coat, and then put your other coats on the whole nail, and that'll give you a thinner base. And to give you a more natural look. So if you're cool like that, try it. Is that thin? Yep, it's thin. I'm wondering why that's pulling down the sides like that. On the bottle. Ooh, that looks really bizarre. pretty color. I love this color. Alright, number 4. Your little finger. Okay, then we're gonna orange stick it. Wipe off my finger. Like I had said earlier, if you put this on too thick, it doesn't cure. Well, this dot that I actually have on the top of here is not cured. So the polish is leaking out of a little hole that has been created, and it is leaking onto my finger. You could also dip like the end of a pointed Q-tip in acetone or an isopropyl alcohol and use that to clean up your nails too. See, look at all these great ideas I have, but I don't use them. That requires too much effort. I'm lazy. Find a quicker way for it to work. But a quicker way is not to apply your polish too thick. Well, I guess that's not a quicker way by applying your polish too thick. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and try. There we go. Just cannot. There we go. And right here. Okay, bake. I wish I could pause this. It would save so much time for people to watch it, but okay. Maybe we should say, paint your nails with me. I'm going to put this on for another cycle because I just want to make sure that it's cured all the way. Wonder how the color looks. Okay, one cycle's done. I'll just do 1.5. Make sure that pinky gets all the way in there. I usually just move the lamp, but you know, I'm lazy. Okay. So here are our nails. Again, skin's bright red, but it'll deal with it later. And I would probably do one more coat of color, just because I like the glitter. So I'm actually going to rub this down with alcohol to make sure that it's curing correctly, because I've had problems with this polish before. On the other hand, nope. So because I'm wiping this off before I put a top coat on, I will lose some color on here. Some color's okay. I'm not worried about it. It's if I lose a lot. See, on this side, I lost quite a bit. So, it means that it's not curing correctly. I think this is just the polish. Okay, so we're going to do another thin layer. Make sure that it's dry. One more thin layer, and then we'll do a top coat. We'll call that good. You don't need to see me do my thumb because that's going to take too much time. Okay, thin, thin, thin. There we go. It's on thin. Something. I wonder what time it is. My husband said that he was heading home. Ooh, I'm making this amazing tortellini sausage soup that I found online. What is this? Peanut butthead. Okay. Thin coats, thin coats. Think thin. Think thin. This will be the last coat. Think thin. Who wrote the book of love? I get in trouble for copyright infringements by singing songs that are stuck in my head. That looks like crap. Okay. This all looks like crap. By the way, that polish is probably going to get thrown away afterwards, but it's so pretty. Alright, wipe this shiz off. Well, you know what? I won't put alcohol over here because I wonder... Ooh, that hurt. Maybe that's why it came off. Who knows? Who knows? Only I know. Okay, that looks like crap. I'll peel it off later. Let's not lie. Okay, baking for the last time with the color. Then we'll put the top coat on. We'll call that shtick good. What I'm going to do is put little white stamped snowflakes on top of it, so I guess nobody will actually know. As long as I can get that stuff to stay. Top coat. How long has this been? Way too stinking long. Sorry, people. Let it cure. Let it cure. Can't hold it back anymore. Oh, that looks so gross. I really will end up taking tweezers to it later. Okay. So I have this paper towel here to make sure I don't get nail polish on my tabletop. But my hands never make it to the paper towel. Alright, gel. Top coat. Wipe, wipe, tip. Wipe, wipe. Oops. And try to get the tip. That side looks good. That side looks good. Tip. Maybe I'll be fancy and I'll turn my hand upside down. This does not look wonderful. And it felt a little sticky. Tip. And pinky. Hi, pinky. Good thing we are covering you with snowflakes. I had heartburn earlier today and I took my heartburn medicine. So apparently my stomach is still pushing up some acid, but it doesn't hurt. It makes a weird noise in the back of my throat. Okay. I'm just gonna try to wipe it all off. But this is my left hand. I'm right-handed. My nails are super short compared to how they've been in the past. Let's see, what other excuses can I make for how bad this looks? Anyway. Okay. I'm gonna bake. And even though this is a no wipe top coat, I like to wipe it anyway. And I'm getting a migraine. I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. And then the witch doctor, he told me what to do. That was stupid. Ooh, he, ooh, ting, ting, walla, walla, bing, bing. Ooh, ee, ooh, ting, ting, walla, walla, bing, bing. He said that. Ooh, ee, ooh, Okay, done. Grab our cloth. Put your alcohol on it. Get it drunk. Drunk cloth. Alright. Time. So, if you have cuticle oil, good time to put it on your cuticles. I will go upstairs after I turn off this video. That looks so bad. Alright, we're going to pretend like I did this hand because I did this hand earlier today. See how pretty it looks. Still doesn't look nearly as nice. Practice makes perfect. That's part of the other reason why I often just do clear on my gels and put color with the regular polish because I can clean it up even better. But anyway, this is finished look. The one great thing about it is that it's dry. As soon as this completely... As soon as this completely dries from the alcohol, it's dry. Good to go. Beautiful. Love you later. I'll do my thumb. Bye-bye.